You are listening to Win on KZKO. Check them out every Monday from 4 to 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Only on KZKO The Vibe.
And now, World Improv Network proudly presents Community Court.
When two parties cannot solve a dispute, Community Court is there to solve the problem.
All rise for the most Honorable Judge Kenneth Vicarro.
Good afternoon, everybody. Let's just jump into it today. I don't want to filibuster or dilly-dally or lollipop around, gallywag or silly willy or any of that jazzy-wazzy. But Junior might. He's in a good mood today. All right, so he might, yeah, I know. I'm surprised too, Cliff.
Yeah, it's a nice change, Judge. Can only deal with so much of this toddler sass.
Well, you know, he and I had a good talk this weekend, and we worked out some interpersonal issues. You know,
open lines of communication are all we need.
Yeah, you know, that's really where that's all it takes. It's just open, honest communication, and. I know, Junior. I'm happy about where we are too. But we got to keep it up, you know. All right. So today we have our plaintiff, Mitchell Cornhole.
Yes.
You are something of a Twitter fanatic, I guess, but you say you're an addict. You're addicted.
Yes, I am. It was developed quickly and unexpectedly that all my time has been occupied with the Twitter app.
Right. And you blame Twitter.
I do. It's the hashtags that do it for me. They're all just like little contests and lotteries you get to play, and you know, is my comment gonna get favorited? Will I get retweeted? I had to keep participating. It's all I can do not to let people know that I am right now, this moment, on the community court.
Well, yes, if you can, you know, keep your tweeting to a minimum. You're actually not supposed to have cell phones active and on in the courtroom.
I made sure to have mine confiscated by the bailiff Cliff.
Oh, well, good job, Cliff.
Thanks, Judge.
And our defendant is Vice President and Head of Global Relations of Twitter, Mr. Carl Stanley. Carl Stanley, how you doing, sir?
Doing okay today. Not as good as I thought, because he's the first person, Mr. Cornhole here, to ever have a gripe against Twitter, let alone take it to court.
Well, oh, hey, man. Well, you shouldn't have come with me to work then, Junior.
That sounds like a conversation maybe you two should have had this morning.
Well, you know, we were kind of in a rush. Somebody got up a little later than usual. I'm not going to point any fingers. Oh, well, if you're just going to be so blatant about it, then don't blame me, you know, about the, you know, the rushed atmosphere, you know, in my office. I don't want to hear about it right now, Junior. So just cut it out.
Whoa.
I'm sorry, everybody. We don't get in fights like that all the time.
Judge.
Yes, Mr. Stanley.
I think we're here for a case.
Well, what do you got to, what do you got to say for yourself? Mr. Cornhole, he's addicted. He can't stop tweeting. He has somehow gotten, I mean, this is a different cell phone. I mean, because Cliff is holding up
He has three of them right in front of him, and those weren't the ones that he came into the court apparently with.
To be fair, none of these work. They are like cell phone pacifiers. They're just here so I can move my thumbs and feel as though I'm still tweeting.
Well, with Mr. Cornhole, he clearly agreed to the user agreement when signing up to Twitter. What he does not know, if he did not read the 468-page user agreement, that in there we have the rights to have subliminal tweets and messages sent to our constituents.
And that, Your Honor, that is my problem. That is what I'm talking about. Is it reasonable to ask a man who is only interested in 140 characters to read 400-odd pages of a user agreement? Is that fair, Judge, I ask you?
Well, Mr. Cornhole, before you let it come out of that hole, maybe you should spend more time and then tweeting how great that user agreement actually was. It was written by...
If you will refer to some of my first tweets, sir, I did just that. I did not know what else to tweet about, but I knew I had to tweet. So I had a 500-character screed spread over 6 messages describing my love of your user licensing agreement.
Sounds like from the get-go then you were, you had a propensity or a proclivity or
oh yes.
For tweeting.
Oh yes. Yes, I initially got into tweeting because I figured it would be much more effective than sending texts. I can send one tweet to all 25 of my friends instead of having to send one text 25 times.
That is correct, and that is beautiful about Twitter. You can tweet and hit sometimes millions of followers at a time with a click of a button and 144 characters. The problem, Mr. Cornhole, is that we're not responsible for your addictive personality, nor are we responsible for your behavior on how you use Twitter.
You, sir, are a pusher. You are a dealer.
We gave you something to try for free. We have not yet installed the premium service, and it is your responsibility to regulate your own personal usage of this free drug. I mean, the service.
I heard that, sir. Did you? I would like to call into evidence the last word that he said before he corrected himself when he referred to the Twitter as a drug.
Your Honor, I was saying that I was drugged into this courtroom against my will to sit here in front of you. Sorry.
Change not your words, sir.
Mr. Cornell, I've got to ask, what damage has been done? What have you suffered as a result of all this tweeting?
Oh, my suffering has been great. I have had 2 carpal tunnel surgeries in the past year, because I am wearing out my carpal tunnels at a rate faster than my body can regenerate the cartilage. I have lost friends because I'm sending too many messages. When I first joined Twitter, I had 100 followers, including 25 of my closest friends, and now all my friends have abandoned me, and I am merely followed by ads. By ads, sir. They do not exist.
Well, the problem maybe that you might want to consider is that you should not be harassing your friends by making them watch your tweets. The other thing, I did some research on you, Mr. Cornhole. We know that you have been sending homing pigeons to your friend's house with the exact same tweets that you've printed out.
Yes.
50 at a time, dropped off like little sprinkles of dust coming down in their yard for them to read every tweet that they did not reply to.
Yes. Yes.
That might be considered a little bit, shall we say, obsessive and almost cyber-stalking your friend.
I would consider that a necessary measure. If I'm going to tweet, and I will be tweeting, sir, I must know if it is received. I must get that retweet. I must get that favorite. Why? I must get more followers. I must have people that care.
Well, Mr. Cornhole, we have now launched a new advertising service. If you would like to pay $1,500 to $3,000 a month in order to promote your tweets around the tweetosphere, we can guarantee you that you will have at least 5 to 15 more followers a day.
Now, will I also be provided with the address of these 5 to 15 followers to send them my homing pigeons as well?
For an additional 25% upcharge, we will give you their address, their social security number, as well as their bank accounts if you would like to drop tweets there.
There's definitely something illegal about that.
This sounds like the perfect solution to me, Mr. Stanley.
Well, Judge, I think that maybe you should try this as well to make sure that it's legally sound. But our fine lawyers, the Kardashians, the Shapiros, and the like of the world, have cleared this, saying that this is without a doubt not a problem within the normal business practices or even within the standard laws of the world.
Well, I think I've heard enough to make a ruling, and I'm going to throw this one out because this really just comes down to personal responsibility, Mr. Cornhole. And it sounds like there might actually be an agreement here, some kind of advancement of both of y'all's agendas.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So,
Mr. Cornell, if you'd like to just write down your bank routing number right now, we can withdraw the $5,000, or should we say, let's just do the 25% premium upgrade as well right now before we leave the courtroom. Would that be fine with you, Mr. Cornhole?
That is a more than acceptable solution, sir.
all right. Case dismissed.
Let's go outside live to Wilford Taylor, who's got some post-trial thoughts with the plaintiff and defendant. What's going on out there, Wilford?
Right, well, I'm here with both the plaintiff and the defendant, and it looks like they're both in good spirits. We came to an agreement. You came in here with a complaint, Mr. Cornhole, but how do you feel about it now? Well, he's busy typing away. If he has something to say, I'm sure he'll interject. Mr. Stanley,
I tweeted you my response, sir.
Right, well, as soon as I can get a gosh dang internet connection, I'll look at that. Mr. Stanley, how you feeling about the agreement that you reached at the end of court there?
Feel fantastic about this agreement because it is my first sale, and therefore I'm going to get a nice hefty residual commission on Mr. Cornhole, and hopefully he will tweet it to everyone else, and therefore generate some more revenue for me.
All right. In the end, everybody wins here. So that'll do it for a community court.
Hashtag winning.
The verdict has been made and the court of law is spoken. Tune in next week for another fascinating episode of Community Court.
Give the Wincast your suggestions via Facebook, Twitter, or the KZKO Win blog during the commercial break of a crime that needs to be solved during Truth and Justice. Next on KZKO.
You are listening to Win on KZKO. Check them out every Monday from 4 to 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Only on KZKO.